Friends, my name is Atul and I welcome you all on my new video on constructional details of lathe. Constructional details means what are those parts are required to build a complete working lathe machine. Okay, so without lack of any time, we'll start studying the details of lathe machines. Okay, so we'll start with the foundation of the machine. Foundation of machine or foundation bolts are required to rigidly or fix the machine firmly to the ground. Okay, and also there is another purpose of the foundation bolt is to level the machine. When the complete machine get assembled, then we need to level it perfectly so we can adjust with the foundation bolts. Then the next part in the building comes the legs of machine. These are made up of cast iron because they have the two very good properties. They are having very good compressive strength and very rigid and have a good toughness also. Toughness is required because the shocks which are coming from the cutting action of the tool, they can absorb and they can reduce the vibrations generating in the machine. The next comes the tray. The tray is required because to collect the swarf or the chips generating from the cutting action. Also, it is required to collect the coolant and send it back to the sump to recirculate once again. The next comes the bed. The bed describes the complete lathe size. What is the size of the lathe? It depends upon what size of the bed it is. If it is having large machine, then the bed is made by casting and that to be in sections, you can say like that, in 2-3 sections, and they will get bolted together afterwards in assembling. Okay, and this is also made up of cast iron only, because it's having the same properties as described earlier. It should be having high toughness, it should be high rigid also, but here basically bed should have the two properties. One, it should be tough enough, and another one, it should be of wear resistance. Why so? Because all this assembly is sliding over the bed, so that to avoid wear and tear of the bed, it should be having a good wear resistance. To get a good wear resistance, it is made by chilled cast iron. In the next lathe machine construction comes the headstock. Headstock is mainly comprised of all the parts which are required to rotate the parts and to hold the parts basically. In that, first we will say the live center. Live center means the spindle of the machine. That spindle is made up of carbon steel or nickel chrome steel, anything like that. But basically I want to tell you guys that it should be hollow. Why? Because it should be hollow, because to accommodate the extra length of the bar, if you have got extra length, you can push it back into the machine so that you will get extra, you can accommodate the extra length of the bar or extra or part. Okay, the next is that you will see the attachment on the spindle, that is called a 3-jaw chuck. 3-jaw chuck is used to hold the part or to clamp the part. Also you can use different type of chucks like a 4-jaw chucks or face plate also used to hold the part, depends upon the type of part. Okay, the next comes in the picture is the gearbox control. This is the gearbox control. You can see in the manual conventional machine that these are two knobs. Okay, you can position these two knobs to get a specific speed. It has two speeds actually. One is for high and one is for low. You can see here in 3 digits and one is for in 2 digits. It requires because if you are going for simple works like just turning, you can go with the high speed, and if you are going for the thread cutting or knurling, you should go with the low speed. That's why the low speed is required. Then the next comes is the back gear mechanism. This is the back gear mechanism. Here you can see the different types of pulleys or different size of gears, actually not types, different size of gears, so that you can achieve a specific speed of the spindle. Depends upon the requirement. This is here, all here it is mounted. The next comes the feed box. Feed box, this is the feed box actually, and which controls the rotation of this lead screw, so that you will get a particular feed of the tool. Then the next part in the lathe construction is the longitudinal slide or guide ways. It has a particular cross section, depends upon the type or rigidity requirement of the machine tool. And the next one is the lead screw. In the lead screw, you see these are the lead screw. What is the purpose of lead screw is to translate the rotary motion into the translatory motion to carriage or tool post, so that you will get the feed. To get that feed, you got some arrangement. First one is the hand wheel. Okay, you can adjust or you can give a feed to the tool, depends upon your requirement, by manually. And also you can engage the feed automatically as per your requirement. This is mostly used for cutting or performing the threading and knurling. Okay, so the next important part, and you can see here there is some gap on the lead screw. Actually there is no threads on this part of the lead screw. Why so? Because if you are cutting threads throughout this, then there is a chance to get this assembly collide with the machine parts itself, means check itself. So to avoid that, there should not be a threads cutted on this portion of the lead screw. That is what we call it's a gap piece, and that is what its important is. The next in the construction is the tailstock. This is the tailstock actually. Tailstock, also called as loose head stock or dead center of the lathe machine. Why it is called as loose head stock? Because you can move it as per your requirement forward and backward to accommodate the length of the job as per your size of the job. Okay, also it holds tool into that. What are those tools? The tools are which are holding in the tailstock are like drilling, rimming and tapping when you are going for the central drill only. Okay, not for the eccentric drills. To accommodate those tools, the spindle of tailstock is having tapered end. You can, if you see how the tools are built, they will also having the tapered end. We call them that as a Morse taper. If you want to study in that detail, you can study in another video what are those taper types, but these are also having the same taper to accommodate those tools. Okay, so and you can feed those tools into the part by using this hand wheel. You need to feed the tool manually only. There is no automatic control for that. Okay, so and the next comes in the important part in the lathe machine is the carriage. Carriage itself having so many parts. You see here rounded here, and we'll see what are those one by one. The first is saddle. Saddle is directly mounted on the longitudinal slide or on the guide ways, and which gives the motion to the tool, or which can travel on the guide ways directly by this. Okay, then comes is the cross slide. Cross slide is like as I indicated in the slide, that it will give the movement to the tool cross, and that is perpendicular to the machine axis. The machine axis will be like this. Okay, that is the main function of cross slide. Then the compound rest. Compound rest is above, or it is which is mounted above the cross slide, and which is in circular. That is, compound slide is having a circular base and which is graduated into the degrees. Why so? It is required because you can tilt this tool post to any angle as per your requirement. If you want go for a short taper cuts, you can do it that, or you can if you want to adjust your tool according to your requirement, you can adjust that. Okay, and to feed this cross slide and transverse slide, there is some hand wheels are given for that. These are the two. You can travel or you give motion to the tool by this direction by using this hand wheel, or by using this hand wheels you can give the cross slide of the tool. This cross slide is required when you are going for the facing operation. Okay, the next comes is the tool post. Tool post usually which is used for holding the tool and giving the particular position to the tool. Actually depends upon how you are clamping. You see here there are 3 bolts which can firmly hold the tool in position in this socket. Okay, depends upon how you are holding the tool into the sockets. They are classified into different groups. Those are we are not going to study in this video. Okay, so that's it guys from the constructional details of lathe. If you got any question, please drop into the comment section. Thank you. Bye.